how's everyone doing? Hello, everyone. Doing good. Hello, hello, hello. I am here, late as always, to the Monday stream. Always oversleeping. And actually, I'm gonna say, last night, I almost forgot about the stream today. Like, I was like, oh yeah, I'll sleep until like 3 tomorrow. And then I was like, wait a second. I have my stream tomorrow. Never mind, I gotta do that. Hold up. Hold the phone. Gotta change plans. I gotta get up at like 2 or something. And got up at like 2:30 instead. And I was like, oh. Because I was up late, like, watching random YouTube videos and stuff. Well, before that, I finished, the only route that I care about in Pio Fiore, Yang's route, for the sequel, Pio Fiore episode 1926, I think it is? Yeah, I think it's 1926, or... So, and that was really good. Yang's route in both the original and the sequel, top tier stuff. I love it. I love his route so much. So I was really happy with that. And then I decided to start replaying through Code Realize. And I realized how much I miss Lupin. He's such a cutie. I love him. It's so, like, I understand why they saved his route for last, but at the same time, like, they really, like, hint at the fact that he's the true route from the beginning, to the point where it kind of feels weird to not do his route. Like, I feel like Code Realize is one of those Otome games where it's like, yeah, that one route is, like, the only, like, truly legit route. Like, it just story-wise, it makes the most sense in all levels. So it is kind of sad that you have to, like, wait to get there. But at the same time, it is a good conclusion to the story since it ends, like, on the best note in the game, which is great. But yeah, it is sad that it's like, aw, can't date him though until like the end. Gotta look at him and be like, I wish I could pinch those cheeks. I wish I could smooch him. But I'm, you know, it's, the other routes are good too in that game. Like, it's one of those games where like the writing is good regardless. So it's not gonna be a problem going down all the other routes. But yeah, I am excited to go through it all again, showing Azure some of it. I'm planning on showing Angel and Lulu as well, some of Code Realize, since that's awesome. Like, it's such a fave that I want everyone to see at least some of it. I think I might restart from the beginning. It depends on how far I am. Like, if it turns out that I'm able to complete a full route before we're all together so I can show the start, then I'll just, you know, start a new route, and this time, like, just start from the absolute beginning so they can see the beginning part. Or if I'm, like, in the middle of a route, I'll just make, like, a separate save or something to start from the beginning. But yeah, my ultimate goal, getting to Lupin's route again. The struggle there is gonna be real. But yeah, like, for example, I still remember how with Pio Fiore, like, you unlock Dante's route, like, after just one route. And he's, like, technically the true route. Like, not really. He's, like, sort of, but not exactly. because there's like another hidden route that you can unlock once you do everybody, and that's technically the true route. But his route is true route in the sense of like he's the one that Lily is like destined to end up with, and it's also the route where a lot of like the lore gets like revealed. And it is kind of weird that it's like, oh, you can unlock it second. Because as much as I'm like, oh, I wish you could unlock Lupin earlier, at the same time, it's like, I understand why, with how much lore and stuff is revealed in that route. Like, you would kind of feel like you're done after playing it, you know? And it's the same with that. It's like, after Dante's route, what's the point? And the same thing is with Birushana. You can go on to what's his name's route, like, pretty, like, immediately after just one route. And the problem with that is, again, that's, like, basically the true route, so everything gets revealed in that route. It's like, oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. So I love that in that particular route, the voice actor for him is the same voice actor who voice acts Watanuki in Holic. So the entire time, I was like, I feel like I'm talking to like a weird version of Watanuki right now. Yeah. So, also, Code Realize had an animation for those who don't know, and that anime, not very good. Makes me big sad because, you know, the game was super good, but then they were like, nah, we'll have like a terrible anime though. But that's, I guess, usually what happens. I can't think of really, like, there are like some good video game adaptations of stuff, but for the most part, a lot of times it's not good. And I mean, it makes sense to me, considering that, like, I've mentioned this before, but I think good games are, like, some of the best games are ones that utilize the fact that they are a video game. Oh, hi, Mew! Welcome to the stream. How's it going? I love you so much. Welcome, Mew. How's it going? I hope you're doing well. Welcome. Just talking about video game adaptations. Just ranting about how often they're terrible. I mean, like, I think that, how should I put it? Like, I love video games that utilize the fact that they're a video game medium to help tell the story, you know? Because I feel like a lot of video games just use the gameplay as a way to just get from point A to point B, and the storyline kind of happens just once you hit those checkpoints. But I love games that, like, actually incorporate the gameplay as part of its story, so it's not just like, we're getting from point A to point B here. But the problem with that is, the more the gameplay is a part of the narrative, the more it's, like, becomes less and less possible to make a proper, like, adaptation of it, because then that means there's always gonna be some elements that are kind of not gonna translate properly to, like, other mediums. And, like, there's a part of me who's like, heck yeah, because I love the idea of, like, video games as a medium, like, being utilized to their full extent as a medium for art and, you know, that sort of thing. But at the same time, like, it makes it so that, you know, properly adapting it into other mediums is mostly impossible unless you have somebody who's, you know, savvy enough to make it work. Because there's just that extra interactive dimension just isn't there. And hi, Bajorn! Welcome to the stream. How's it going? I hope you're doing well, Bajorn. What's up? Hello. I love ya. Welcome. I love that emote so much. That's so cute. I'm just ranting about video game adaptations at the moment. Or just adaptations of stuff in general. There's always like something that ends up being lost in translation when you move something from one medium to another, whether it's book to a cartoon or a cartoon to a book or a video game to a cartoon, etc., etc. And like the best people know like how to make that transition work, know how to make up for the stuff that's lost in the translation between mediums. Like, for example, the Castlevania TV series, really good. And Arcane, that series, excellent. Like, there are examples of ones that make it work, or like the CGI Resident Evil movies, those are really good too. All of these, like, work, and because the people who made it like understood how to take like what's there in the original video games and make it work in a different medium, make up for the stuff that's lost when you lose that interactivity, lose that hands-on experience that you get through video games, losing that dimension. It's basically like taking something like from 3D and making a 2D image of it, like you're losing a certain dimension of it, but you can make it work, as long as you know how to make a 3D object within 2D space, but a lot of time it doesn't work out. Most of the time you watch like the Danganronpa anime or Code Realize anime or like most shows, and it's like doesn't really work out. Or the Persona 5 anime was really bad too, except the good parts were like the extra episodes that weren't in the game, and I think that's kind of what has to be done. I feel like the best adaptations, like some of the best video game adaptations are ones that don't directly adapt like the game, but instead try and make their own thing. Like I said, the CGI Resident Evil movies or Arcane or the Castlevania series, like all of those take ideas from the games, but they make their own thing out of it. They're not just directly adapting something. And I think that's what makes it work. It's why certain episodes of the Persona 5 anime are actually kind of good, because those episodes are the ones that are wholly original to the anime. The ones where it's just like Akira and Goro like hanging out and doing stuff. Like those episodes are good because they're not trying to adapt from a video game. They're just making their whole new thing in this whole new medium, which is what makes it work. But most of the time, it's just let's just directly adapt as if that'll work when you're taking something from one medium to another. It's like, no, it doesn't work that well when you do that. It really doesn't. But yeah. There was something else I wanted to say, and now I can't remember what it was. One Persona anime that did work was the original Persona 4 anime. Like, I honestly, if a person doesn't want to, like, go through the entire Persona 4 game for some reason, like, if it's too long, they already have a bunch of other SMT games to play, things like that. Like, if for some reason or another they can't play through the original Persona 4 or whatever, or I would absolutely recommend that they watch the original Persona 4, the animation. Not the Persona 4 Golden anime. The original Persona 4 animation, because that anime is really good. Like, Zach would agree with me that it's one of those, like, shows that, like, is such a good adaptation. You could literally just watch the Persona 4 anime and you would have, like, a pretty good experience overall without having to play the game. And that would be enough. Like, both Zach and I agree that just watching that anime would be enough. Because it's just that good of an adaptation. Like, it's so good. It's definitely a fave. I've rewatched through the Persona 4 animation, like that original one, so many times, and it's really good. It's really, really good. And you legitimately you don't have to play the game. You can just watch that anime, and it's good. And I actually, you can't see it in this screen here, but I do have a Persona 4 the animation poster in my room that's like hanging on the wall over there. Because that's how much I loved that show. It was so good. It was so well done. It's one of my favorite adaptations of anything ever. Like, no joke. And I've liked plenty of adaptations of things, and I just think that anime is real good. Beyond that, I guess, I really liked the Mega Man Battle Network anime, or Rockman.exe anime. That anime was good. As I said, the Resident Evil CGI movies are good, not the live action ones. Arcane, Castlevania, Dota 2, the Advent Children movie I thought was pretty good for Final Fantasy VII. I enjoyed it, at least. I know some people didn't. I thought it was good. I did a video on it, and I'm like, or not a video, I did a listicle on it. Hi, sorry I'm late. No worries, Rolf. I was also late as usual, so don't worry about it. It's totally fine. No worries. As I said, there's no obligations for this. We're hanging out because, we want to hang out, have some fun, so don't worry about being late or anything. It's totally fine. No worries, Rolf. I was just talking about video game adaptations and how a lot of times adaptations suck. Like, there are examples of good adaptations, but basically, like, to me, video games add another dimension to a person's experience with a work of art. You get, that direct interaction and whatnot and all those aspects. And that's why I really love games that really utilize the fact that you're playing a video game. It's not just the gameplay is there for you to get from point A to point B, and at those points you're getting some story beats. But instead, the gameplay itself is a part of the story. It helps tell that story. Like, you can't really separate the two. And I love those, but at the same time, it does make it so that games end up having a bit of a difficult time if you want to adapt it into another medium, because you lose that interactivity, you lose the gameplay, and that means you lose a dimension to telling the story. And some directors are able to make up for that. A lot of times, some good examples being Arcane, Castlevania, the Mega Man Battle Network series, the Sonic X series, things like that. But with all of those, a lot of times it's not direct adaptations of something, but just taking the ideas that were given in the video game and kind of putting your own spin on it. And that's what makes it work a lot of the time, because instead of just trying to directly adapt something that has a dimension that you can't mimic within just watching a show, you're making a whole new thing that is made for watching a show. And so it works out. Whereas a lot of other adaptations try to just directly adapt, and a lot of times it doesn't work. Like, there are times where it works, like the Steins Gate show and things like that, but a lot of times, because, like, it's basically like trying to take a 3D object and putting it into a 2D space, you know? Like, there's ways to draw objects so they look 3D in a 2D space so it works out, but for the most part, you're losing some vital elements to, like, what the object is by putting it on a 2D space when it's originally in a 3D space. And that's kind of how I see a lot of, like, adaptations of things, is, like, you kind of lose certain things. Like, if you're taking a book to a movie, or a movie to a book, or a show to a book, or a show to a manga, like, anytime you take one thing from one medium to another, there's always going to be a little bit of disconnect. And good artists are able to, you know, make up for that disconnect. But for the most part, a lot of times it just doesn't work, you know? Because what's lost makes a big difference. And the reason I brought this up was because I recently finished Pio Fiore episode 1926, which is like a sequel to the original Otome dating sim Pio Fiore. And I just finished the route that I cared about, Yang. His route in the original game and in the sequel, both good routes. And I was done after that. I was like, I played my favorite boy, I'm leaving. And Azure was there to watch me go through, which was great. But because of that, like, I also re-downloaded Code Realize, because I wanted to replay through it since it's one of my favorite Otome games. And I played a little bit of it last night for Azure. And I was talking about how Code Realize had an anime. And that anime was terrible. It's another example of terrible adaptations. But yeah. Or a lot of people say that the World Ends With You anime is really bad. And I don't think it's bad per se. Like, it's not the best adaptation, but I thought it was fine. Like, I would say the worst part about it was I felt that the pacing was a bit off. I mean, like, I understood that it was just probably hard to do with the limited amount of episodes that they had to work with, which is sad. But I would have definitely made the first week last a bit longer than it did, because I felt like a lot of the impact of some of the stuff that happened in the show got lost because of how quickly week 1 went. Like, just a couple episodes done with week 1. And it was just so jarring because, like, so much character development and stuff just happened so fast that the player, like, not the player, the viewer wasn't really able to take in any of it. Like, you basically in the game you spend hours doing week 1, and in the anime it's just like, oh, a couple episodes you're done. And I feel like it really did lose some of the impact of some of the stuff, because, like, for example, Neku, like, one of the major things about The World Ends With You is the main character, Neku, is really a jerk at the start of the game. Like, he's kind of awful. And, like, that, his awful personality is because of trauma. Like, he recently lost somebody important to him and everything, and, like, he was pushing everybody away because of that trauma and how he felt like no one would understand him or understand his pain, you know? And so it makes sense, but he was a jerk, but the anime kind of downplays it, and, like, then shows, like, oh, he's changing, becoming a better person, but you never really, like, as a viewer of the show, you never really get the sense that he was kind of an awful person. Like, the character development is really, like, not really there, because it doesn't really have time to settle in before we're already moving on to other things. And so there was definitely problems with it, but I think overall it was okay, especially with the amount of time that it had to tell the story. Like, it got most important things in there, and it was also nice just to see my boy Joshua. I was like, there he is! My boy! I love you! But yeah, I'm just glad that there was an anime in the first place, even if it wasn't the best. But it also wasn't as bad as some other adaptations that I've seen. It was better than, like, for example, Code Realize's anime. I'm still upset about that anime. I remember I was so excited when that anime was coming out, and then it came out and I was like, oh, we're doing this again. Another terrible visual novel adaptation, just like with Togano no Chi or Dramatical Murder or anything else. I'm just like, why? Or the Danganronpa anime. It's just like, bad animated adaptations of visual novels. It happens all the time. Or the Umineko. The Umineko anime. The only good thing about that anime was the opening song, and that's it. The opening song was a banger. But everything else about that show was some big beef moments. Some absolute big beef moments. But yeah. Oh, and I see the message also in here, Rolf. No worries. As I said, it's all about, like, the stream's all about chilling and stuff. There's no, like, super I always worry that people, like, for both this stream and for the VN night, I always worry that people see it as, like, an obligation sometimes. And I don't want that to be the case. I don't want it to be like, oh, you have to be here. If you're not here, I'm gonna be mad. Like, I want it to be just, like, a fun thing that we can do. You know, like, doing a, how should I put it? Like, just doing, like, a game night or a movie night, you know? Where it's just something fun that we all do. Yeah, compressing a 20+ hour game into a TV series or movie leads to stuff just not being paced properly and things getting cut. Yeah. Yeah, it's true. It's very true. Like, if the people behind the show are really savvy, they can make it work. Like, as I said, the Persona 4 anime, top tier content right there. Like, that is such a good anime. And an incredible adaptation. And the Steins Gate adaptation, I think, was really good too. And there are other ones that directly adapt stuff, but yeah. And but yeah, most of the time it's not gonna work out unless the people are really savvy about it, or if they completely change things. Like, as I said, like, shows that adaptations that just take, like, base themselves off the source material but kind of go their own way end up doing a lot better than ones that tend to just try and straight up adapt something. Like, as I said, the Sonic X anime, the Castlevania anime, Arcane anime, like, all of those, they're not directly adapting something from the games. They're just taking the basis of the game and making something of their own. And so it works out that way. And while there are times like the Persona 4 where it does work out if you just directly adapt, for the most part, it just doesn't. Honestly, I don't really think I'm up for joining the call today. I've been super busy lately, and it just hit me half an hour ago how tired I am. No worries, Rolf. No worries. As I said, I mentioned this just now, that I don't want this to be seen as an obligation or anything. That it's all about, I just want it to be like a fun time where everyone can relax and have a good time. So if there's ever like a need for more rest or just like time to chill or whatever, that's totally fine. Like, Your health is always the first thing, the most important thing. Yeah, though that's very true, Rolf. Like it's usually the ones that don't try and directly adapt. Like as I said, there are a couple that directly adapt that work, like the Persona 4 anime, but for the most, or the Steins Gate anime, but for the most part, if it is trying to directly adapt, it's not gonna work. I did manage to get my work assignment done just in time, but it took me all of Sunday and some of Saturday, in addition to the D&D session I had to prep and run. Yeah. Understandable. I totally understand. No worries, Rolf. Rest is important. Make sure to just chill. It might work for very story-focused games, like... It might work for very story-focused games, like visual novels and such. I mean, as I said, like... A lot of visual novel adaptations are bad, though, too. Like, the whole reason I start talking about this was because one of my favorite Otome games, Code Realize, has a terrible adaptation. Like, that one is also... Code Realize is terrible. Umineko, another really good visual novel, the adaptation was terrible. The only good thing about it was the opening song. The Ace Attorney animes was kind of bleh. I mean, the thing with Code Realize is that it has a very particular canon route that makes it pretty easy, because when you start the game, it's very obvious what the canon route is. The game, like, really pushes for it from the get-go, if that makes sense. So it wouldn't be hard to just do that guy's route, basically. Like, Lupin is the true character of that game. Like, I'm not even gonna hide it, because it's pretty obvious from the get-go that he's the true character of the game. And so that's kind of like, the anime just went to adapt his route, which I was expecting. And, you know, he's best boy anyway. But it still didn't work out. I mean, I think that is the case. Like, if the studio isn't competent enough to make something good, then yeah. Like, yeah, I do agree that I think a lot of times they just get picked up by, like, the worst studios. Like, I still remember the Dramatical Murder anime. Like, oh my gosh, I remember that came out, like, I want to say, like, 2016 or something, and yet the animations looked like they were from, like, the early 2000s. I was like, what studio is making this? Yeah, adaptations are seen as easy, yeah, when they're not. Like, it's a whole can of worms. Yeah. Yeah, studios that don't have the writing chops to come up with their own IPs. It's true. It's true. You know what? You know what? You know what? I was talking about Code Realize this whole time, and I have nothing else to play at the moment. So why don't we just play Code Realize? Because I have it installed on my computer. Show off this incredible game. One of the best visual novel games I've ever played. This visual novel is one of the few visual novels that made me cry at one point. I had tears in my eyes for this visual novel. Oh wait, I need to change the title. I messed up the title. Actually playing some Code Realize. Let's go! Woo! I say playing, but I don't even know if we'll get to the actual, like, choices. So we're just gonna do that. There we go! But yeah, I definitely think that, a lot of times, adaptations are just picked up by studios that aren't as good. But yeah, it's probably seen as easy, even though it should be given the same amount of work as anything else. Or even more so, because it's hard to adapt something. It's much easier if you just have a, oh my god, they want me to update Ryujinix. I mean... Nothing. Nothing? I said nothing. I said nothing. I'm not doing anything in the background right now. Hello? Okay, no, there it is. Yes, I want to restart it. Just hope it's not tanking my stream to do this. I'm not doing anything. There's no emulator here. What are y'all talking about? Nothing. There's nothing here. Yeah. Heck yeah. Nah, I'm not doing anything. No. Nuh-uh. No way, Jose. But yeah. Where's the thing? Where's the thing? Where is the thing? Yeah, I'll use this, I guess. Wait, I should open up the game. That might help. Oh, and I need to also plug in my, It's fine. We know you own a vast library of all fish. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's true. It's true. Don't worry about it, guys. That's how we all are at the moment. Exactly. I have all these games. I own all of them. I just use it for convenience sake. That's all. That's all. Oh, wrong thing. There we go. Ignore what you see behind the curtain. I don't know if I should... Hold up. Go. There we go. It is very ironic. It is very ironic that this is what's here up front. Very ironic. Yeah, guys. Remember, it's against the law to distribute game software without the consent of the copyright holder. Remember that, guys. Oh boy. Anyways, I need to get my controller, because I don't even have my controller, because I wasn't planning on using my controller. Luckily, I have my controller right here. Plugging it in. Plugging in, plugging in. Let's hope that the audio and stuff is okay, because I turned up the Ryujinix like last night. Because I couldn't hear like the talking at all. Like the voice acting was really quiet. So, and I think it was still a little quiet, but now I'm like worried that as I try and play this on stream is gonna like blast our eardrums. Let me know, Rolf. Let me know if this ends up being too loud. I'm gonna skip through all of this. Oh, look at that little Cardia! Okay. And as you see, I did play a little bit with Azure last night, but we're gonna start a new game again. We're gonna use Cardia, which is the canon name. Because, and the reason why is because this is one of those games where if you use the canon name, the characters will say it. They'll actually say Cardia. Maybe a tiny bit loud. Okay. I think what you're probably hearing as loud is the... Yeah, I'm gonna open volume mixer. Gonna turn it down a bit. Okay. I have it at 30 now. Hopefully it's not too quiet. But I turned it, I left it as Cardia because this is one of those games where they'll actually, like, the characters will actually say Cardia when, like, her name comes up. And so, when it comes to games like this where they actually say the name, that's when I'm like, yeah, I'm not changing it. Because, like, if, you know, if they're actually gonna voice act the name, I'm going for it. But, like, literally a tiny bit. Okay, I can turn it back up slightly. Like, let's go, like, 38. Let's go 38. There we go. Who am I? What am I? Where did I come from? Where I come from, where did I go? Where I come from, Cotton Eye Joe. Where am I going? Loved by no one. I love that this is supposed to be all, like, sad and stuff, and I just ruined it by saying Cotton Eye Joe. Needed by no one. If my existence holds no meaning, then why am I here? You know what? We are turning up the voices to, like, full-on blast. Because it's so quiet. I don't understand why, compared to the music, the talking is so quiet. You know, confirm. There we go. Here we go. I can hear my father's voice. It's still so quiet. What the frick? I don't understand. I turn up the voice like 5 billion% and it never... It sounds like it's the same as always. He has a gentle, peaceful voice. I mean, I guess at the same time, like, he's supposed to be, like, kind of on the quiet side because he's like a memory from the distance, but... His hand touches my hair. His hands. Big, strong hands. That reminds... Yeah, I don't understand why. Like, I've been trying to fix this for the past, like, ages, but the settings are just not working out, and I don't know why. Like... Big, strong, yaoi hands. Heck yeah, let's go. Maybe I should just have the voice at full volume. Here we go. Let's just hope that this works. But yeah, like I immediately... Maybe this counts as movie? I don't know. I mean, I think it got quieter a little bit. I mean, there are, like, actual, like, movie segments, so... I don't know. His hands, big, strong hands. Like, this reminds me of, in Fire Emblem Three Houses, Dimitri always talks about the protagonist, like, giant, like, warm, kind hands. Like, he says that a lot. Like, he's like, Professor, your warm, kind hands. So every time I see this, I think about that as well. His touch is so comforting. Big beef. Because I love you, you must never know love. What the frick? Our dad's a freak. Our dad's terrible. I was telling this to Asher the other day that this part, like, the more you learn of love, the more you will be made to suffer. That it's kind of like in the latest Thor movie, Thor Love and Thunder, Thor tells Jane, like, I want to feel shitty about you. And like he said that because basically he was saying that he would rather love Jane and then experience the pain of losing her than to just simply not feel anything at all. You know? So it's like the idea of it's better to have experienced love and feel the terribleness of it than to feel nothing at all. Are a monster. Big beef. Biggest of beef. 6 years later. 1853. We're in a steampunk game, guys. London Bridge is falling down. Everything is normal. So annoyingly normal. Falling down. Falling down. There's no sign that anyone will appear. They're really making me wait. My fair lady. Yes. I get that reference, Rolf. Amazing. At this rate. The bridges. The man takes the binoculars from his eyes to glare at the man slumped beside him. なんだよ、人が気持ちよく作業してたのにさ、鼻歌くらいいいじゃんか。あのな、もっと緊張感持てよ。これから正規のお宝盗み出そうってんだぜ。俺の緊張感はいつかも持ちません。These men have been lying and hiding on the spare plane for 5 days already. ロンドンが懐かしい。うまい酒、うまい料理、美しい女たち。仕方ねえだろ。俺だってこんなに待つと思わなかったんだよ。もうさ、横からかっさらうとかじゃなくて、自分たちで見つけちゃった方が早いんじゃないの？そっちの方が危なくないじゃん。それができるならとっくにやってる。この地方ってだけしか情報がねえんだ。あとは連中の後を追っかけるしかねえだろ。その連中がいつまで経ってもやってこないわけだけど。Yeah, these are so all when you play more and more visual novels, you'll start being or just I mean, I guess a lot of the visual novel voice actors are also anime voice actors, so they appear a lot in anime too. But also visual novels, a lot of times, you know, big actors are just in all games. Also, hi Pond Water, welcome to the stream. How's it going? I love you so much. Welcome, long time no see. And yeah, this is one of my favorite VNs of all time. I love this game so much. The art is good, the story is great, the music is top notch. It's all really good. But also Rolf, the reason you probably recognize this guy's voice is because it's the same voice actor that voiced Okita Soji in Hakuoki. It's the same voice actor. So there's that. そのうちやってくるんだよ。
いいか、泥棒ってのはな。
入念な準備と機を待つ忍耐だろう。この5日で何回聞いたことか。もうセリフ覚えちゃったよ。
While sitting, he takes a small device from his pocket and holds it up. We turned that voice off though. Yeah, that is true. So you probably didn't have enough time to know that voice. But yeah, he's definitely played other roles too in other stuff, and all of these actors you're gonna recognize probably a lot of them as they appear. Like, oh, usually, as I said, like, it's like a small world after all when it comes to voice actors for both visual novels and anime and everything. So it's always like, oh, I know that voice actor, I know that voice actor, I know that voice actor. Appears in every show. He looks at it doubtfully.
この間みてえに爆発しねえだろうな。
何言ってんの？するわけないじゃん。俺ってば世界一の天才技師よ。安心しな、この俺が保証する。
お前の保証ほど当てになんねえもんは。いや、待て。
A group of soldiers appears in the binoculars view.
連中、やってきやがった。
ね、マジで
Okay, I need to say this, but when I was playing this with Azure last night, I immediately told him, you know, because of the way that they did the background and everything, it kind of makes it so that, these soldiers look like giants right now. Like they look like like they're as tall as the giants from like Attack on Titan. It's like, oh snap, the soldiers are so big. The first man nods and continues to study the situation. 4 military automobiles, 1 escort transport, about 20 soldiers in total. In just their luck, one of the vehicles is carrying hunting dogs. A man who appears to be the commander is in the lead automobile, and for the way he looks around, he won't be an easy target. It's a huge unit. It could be trouble. But...
あの格好、王室の近衛兵たちか。なんでこんなところに。
何予想と違うの？作戦変更した方がいいんじゃない？
いや、かえって都合がいい。作戦通りだ。集合場所で待ってろよ。
マジ？入念な準備、機を見る忍耐はどこに行ったんだよ。
その言葉には続きがある。そして時には大胆に。そうでなくては泥棒は務まらない。
I wonder if you can guess already who one of the characters is supposed to be. He tosses the binoculars aside and prepares to leave.
わかったよ。ちゃんと生きて戻ってくれよ。お前にはまだまだ手を借りたいんだからさ。
誰に向かって物言ってやがる。この俺様がちょっとやそっとで死ぬもんかよ。
With that, the man runs out into the darkness. It has taken forever to piece together the clues leading to this moment. He will reach his target. The moon is hidden behind some clouds. That's not good. The darkness makes it easy to run, but hard to track.
レオンハルト隊長殿、屋敷の包囲完了しました。
ご苦労。屋敷から逃げるものがあれば必ず捕らえよ。
は、了解であります。
Yokai! The captain returns the soldier's parting salute, then turns to the abandoned-looking building that stands before him. Oh, you recognized him from One Piece. Makes sense, makes sense. Through a meticulous search, he finally located his mansion hidden in the forest. The initial reports have so far been correct.
ここに怪物がいるというわけか。
He is not eager to complete this mission. A search and capture operation such as this does not normally fall under his purview. Rempart Leonhardt, knight and captain of the Royal Guard, furrows his brow. The men under his command are the Royal Guard, protectors of Queen Alexandria Victoria, supreme ruler of Britain. Their current mission is to protect Queen Victoria as she travels to Wales for an inspection tour. Oh, I see. It makes sense, Rolf. However, he received a message through his Aether communication device. The communicate came from Finis, the British military's technical advisor, who holds authority in governmental research projects. Capture the monster that hides within a mansion in Wales. It may already be dead. If so, quickly dispose of the body. However, if there is a chance that it still lives, it must be captured at all costs. Shortly after this message was sent, a device was delivered that could supposedly detect the monster along with the instructions. This mission is probably of little importance to Finis. If it had been, Finis would have sent one of his pawns from his special task force, Twilight, to carry it out instead. There's just so little information. What is this monster?
その肌に触れたものは溶けて消える。電報にはそう記されていたが、これはそのままの意味なのだろうか。
Perhaps it is some figure of speech? Leonhardt asked for clarification multiple times, but Finis never responded.
いや、悩んでも仕方あるまい。
隊長殿、突入準備整いました。
Leonhardt brings his thoughts back to the present and focuses on the task at hand. Hard to imagine Okito with any voice other than the one he has in Gintama. Makes sense.
しかし、隊長殿、相手は一人なのでしょう。これほどの警戒をする必要があるのでしょうか。
バカ者、何者かはわからないが、相手は怪物とのことだ。女王陛下の剣たる我々には不名誉な失敗など許されん。万難を排してことにあたり、万一の失敗も事前に防ぐ。これがナイトの進むべき道だ。
はっ、失礼いたしました。
Oh, hi, Owen. Welcome to the stream. How's it going? I love you so much. Hello. How's it going, Owen? Oh, look, it's the famous Soldier Bee. Yeah, there he is, our favorite boy. It's our favorite boy, Soldier Bee. And Owen. When he sees that his troops are prepared, Leonhardt gives a small nod.
全員第1級警戒態勢。第1班を先頭に第2班、第3班突入。
The doors are quickly kicked down, and soldiers and dogs rush into the dimly lit interior of the mansion.
異常なし。こちらも異常なし。
Leonhardt follows his men inside. The soldiers quickly spread out, and soon they have taken over the mansion. So far, no monster has been found. Oh, you're right! It's an actual bee! Pond has figured out the secret of this game. They're all bees. They're all bees in disguise. How long has this building stood empty? The walls are rotting in the humidity, and shafts of moonlight are filled with dust. The dogs, as if sensing an unseen danger, have not stopped growling the entire time. As Leonhardt steps forward, the small device meant to detect the target emits a sharp sound. Okay. Warning. Loud noise warning, by the way. This machine that he has is gonna make, like, the loudest high-pitched sound. It's gonna be awful, but it's only gonna last, like, a second. I decided to warn you guys, since I remembered now that this happens. Okay, there we go. It's good. We're good. The captain gathers a few of his soldiers and follows the device, which squeals as he stands in front of a particular door.
ここか。
He switches the device off and slips it into his pocket, then motions to the gun-wielding troops who take positions nearby. He prepares himself to face the monster that awaits them on the other side, then gives a signal to break down the door. Who do we think is the monster? I'm letting you guys try and guess before we meet it. What's the monster? Does anyone have any guesses? One time Critical Role did a Halloween session where they all dressed up as one of the voice acting roles they did. Marisha came as Soldier B in honor of the tiny roles all Nova's voice actors have to take to make ends meet. Aww. That's really nice. That is awesome. That's really cool. Yeah, because honestly, like, all those small roles, like, need more recognition, because those roles are necessary. Probably something cute and harmless, says Pond. We'll see. Rolf, do you have any guesses as to what the monster is? But yeah, that's really, I do like that. That's really good. We'll see who the monster is. We're about to find out. The soldiers smash through and rush inside. A skylight lets some light in, but the moon has ducked behind another cloud. However, he can sense tension in the room. A strange atmosphere fills the air. The room is packed with dolls. In this dim light, the sheer number of them is unsettling rather than cute. The shadow of a person can be seen sitting in a chair in the center of the room. The shadow doesn't move, even when the soldiers surround it, guns drawn. Either this person is very brave, or, as the message suggested,
死んでいるのか。
when the soldiers approaches the chair, the shadow slowly raises its head. At that moment, the clouds part, letting light into the room. There's the monster! Long, glossy hair. Melancholy eyes slowly opening. It's us! It's the main character! We're the monster! Melancholy eyes slowly opening. Her flawless skin and symmetrical face more than resemble a doll's. Heck yeah. Exactly, Rolf, you got it. Her clothing is strange, seeming more like decoration than fashion. Everything about her seems oddly mystical. The girl blinks once, slowly. Her blank eyes take in the surroundings. At this simple action, Leonhardt hears himself and the others gasp involuntarily. This beautiful girl, lit from above by the soft moonlight like an ethereal creature. She must be...
怪物だというのか。
I hear voices. The voices of many people. None of them are my father. Why do they wake me? I want to stay in my slumber forever. I want to stay with my dreams forever.
これが怪物なのか。
Monster. Yes, I am a monster.
捕獲すべき怪物とはこの少女のことなのですか。
おう、にわかには信じがたいが、どうやらそのようだ。
どんな化け物が出てくるかと思えば、こんな娘とはな。バカ、警戒を怠るな。おい、どうしたんだ。落ち着け、落ち着けって。
I know that sound. A dog's growl. I've heard it before. Dogs were chasing me. They were growling and barking, trying to bite me, trying to eat me, to kill me. They were so much faster than me, the dogs. A large dog barks loudly and leaps on me. Stop. I protest weakly in a scratchy voice, but the dog has me pinned to my chair. Its teeth tear through my clothing and pierce the skin of my shoulder. I can feel my blood flow from the wound. In the next moment, the dog yelps and jumps back.
おい、どうした？
As he speaks, something happens. The dog's mouth begins to melt. Like mud, it begins to drip and fall away. The dog's head and neck begin to crumble, and the oozing mass of flesh fizzles. The dog drops to the ground. It writhes in agony for a short time, then stops moving.
なんなんだよ、これは。
Why? Because it touched my skin. Yeah, I know, poor doggo. Because of a tiny drop of my blood. Just looking at the misshapen corpse makes me feel awful. It died. Because of me. The men around me tear their gaze free from the mess and back away, still surrounding me.
警戒しろ。相手はやはり怪物だ。
動くな。一歩でも動けば撃ち殺すぞ。
The game just started and Anya has already murdered a dog. There was, oh my gosh, actually, Rolf, there was a, like a meme back in the day when Sushi was still streaming all the time, where every game that I got Sushi to play always had like a dog die. And it became like a meme of like, oh, Anya kills all the dogs in video games. And I was like, no, that's not me. Fear and confusion, doubt and anxiety. It's just as before. It's very scary, but somewhat familiar.
触れてしまえばそれだけで殺される。うろたえるな。レディに銃を向けてはならない。
One of the soldiers cries out. Leonhardt is he's a good guy. Like, he's a bit of a jabroni, but he's a good guy.
しかし隊長殿、相手は怪物です。そんな悠長なことを。無論理解はしているとも、我が輩も共に見ていたのだから、確かに驚くべきことだ。だが、落ち着くんだ。見てみろ。彼女は敵対するつもりはないようだぞ。
Hey, there's an elephant in the room, and a capybara, and a beaver, and a lion, and a sheep, and a lot of animals. Heck yeah. That is true. There are a lot of animals in this room, including an elephant in the room. Let's address the elephant in the room, and the capybara in the room. Yeah, waga hai. It is really good. I remain seated in my chair, but I look up to meet the speaker's eyes.
猟犬に関しても一瞬だが彼女は静止しようとした。先の出来事は意図的に起こされたものではない。
See, look at him! He's a bit of a hard ass, but he's a good guy.
それは。
The leader approaches me and gently kneels down, putting his face at my level.
怪物のお嬢さん。まずは突然の来訪や非礼を詫びよう。そして願わくば何も聞かず我々に同行してほしい。
His gentle but firm tone leaves no room for argument. After a brief pause, I nod. I stand without another word and leave my room behind. I have no reason to resist. How many years have I been staying here? The people are so tense. I see fear in their eyes. They see me as something foreign. I wonder if these people will kill me. If that is why they have come here, so be it. I had reservations, but I'm not scared. That poor dog. It shouldn't have been that way. The dog should have killed me. Horseless carriages cut their way through the quiet of the night to meet us. They tie my hands and load me into one. I stare up through the window at the sky. I have no interest in where they are taking me or what will happen to me there. If I'm going to be killed, I feel oddly relieved to think this. but I have only one regret. Just one. I wish that I had. It all happened so suddenly. A crash and flash cut through the night. The car ahead of us flips over and rolls over onto the road. The carriage we are in screeches to a halt before we hit the overturned car ahead. The car behind us tries to swerve but tips over, crashing into us from behind. The stricken vehicles block us in.
なんだ盗賊の砲撃か何かかわからんいきなり目の前の地面が爆発したぞ
Everyone riding with us draws their guns and exits the car.
何者だ我らを栄えある英国兵と知っての修行か
もちろんよーく知ってるさ
A voice rings out into the night.
どこだどこから聞こえるおいあれを見ろあの廃墟の上だ
I turn to see where the soldier is pointing. There is someone standing there. I see a figure silhouetted by the moon. A thin body wrapped in formal attire, with a top hat perched on his head. A walking stick is in his hand. He looks as if he's about to attend a masquerade ball. But why? Strangely, nothing about this scene strikes me as out of place.
諸君お役目ご苦労
His cloak flutters in the wind as he stares down at us. It's my boy! There he is! My favorite character in the true route of the game. I love him. There he is, my favorite boy.
誇り高き英国王室の近衛兵がこんな田舎町で人さらいとは女王陛下もさぞ鼻が高いことだろうな
我々を侮辱するか貴様何者だ
俺の名はアルセーヌ・ルパン何驚くには値しねえどこにでもいるただの麗しき泥棒紳士さ
Lupin. As the man standing above us shouts his name, I feel it carving into my heart. There he is, the boy! It's Lupin! Let's go!
泥棒だとこそ泥が何の用だいや待て聞いたことがあるぞ確かパリを拠点に活動する怪盗とかよく知ってるじゃねえかその通りいいかお前ら光栄に思えよこの泥棒紳士の華麗なる芸術をその目で直接拝めるんだからなそして
The man calling himself Lupin looks at me. I fear his piercing gaze through his mask.
二代のお嬢さん私の声が聞こえますか
I stare up at him silently.
何を隠そうこの泥棒めの今夜の獲物はお嬢さんあなたなのです私はあなたを奪いにやってきたのです
Take me away?
どうか安心してお待ちくださいそのぶしつけな犬どもの手から見事あなたを救い出してご覧に入れましょう
なんという物言いだ泥棒風情が流行る英国の侵攻を邪魔するなど不届き千万全員総力をもってあの男を捕獲せよ
は全員銃撃用意
そう急い銃撃を何銃撃用意待て撃て
The shadow dances jerkily as the soldiers open fire. Many of them must have hit. Yeah, this music is great. As Azure said last night, Sour Please. Like, all the tracks in this are really good. Like, every aspect of Code Realize is really good. The shadow collapses to the ground. But yeah, So, it's probably obvious that Lupin is the true route. He's the first guy we meet, and we're gonna spend like the first like hour or so just with him. But then the game's gonna cock block us and say you can't date him until you play all the other routes in the game. Which makes sense considering that his route, like, basically ties up all loose ends or whatever. But it is funny that the game, like, really pushes for him and then is like, but you can't date him yet. You can't date him yet, though. Gotta wait. Gotta wait till you play everybody else's routes first. The shadow collapses to the ground. I'm holding my breath.
バカ者、我が輩は捕らえろと言ったのだ。殺してどうする。
しかし相手の言うことが本当ならパリ中の警察を総動員しても捕まえられないルパンですよ。全力でかからなければ本当に怪物を連れ去られかねません。
That man Lupin, did he really just die now?
やりやがったな。これじゃ死んじまうじゃねえか。くそ、未熟人生だったぜ。
He sits up, howling with laughter.
なんだ、なぜ奴は笑っている。そもそもあの銃撃を受けてなぜまだ生きている。
隊長殿、ルパンの体が。
Before the soldiers could say more, Lupin's body erupts into a bright light, blinding me with its glare. At the same time, a series of explosions rocks the ground. The carriages around us are in disarray.
なんだ何が起きてるんだ。また砲撃か。まさか仲間が隠れていたのか。
落ち着け。これはおそらくもともと道に仕掛けてあったのだ。奴は一人だ。術中にはまるな。
The captain's clear voice and reason have no effect on the men. The smoke from the explosions does not clear, but continues to thicken around us. Soon, it is difficult to see.
どこだ。奴はどこに行った。
The soldiers shout in confusion. Suddenly, a shadow appears before me. There he is! I almost cry out, but the man raises a finger to his lips.
おっと、ビビらせたな。安心しろ。俺は幽霊なんかじゃねえよ。ありゃ、ちょっとした仕掛け付きの風船だ。
He grins and holds out his hand.
さてお嬢さん、お手を。共に夜の逃避行と参りましょう。
No! Don't touch me, please! She'll die from the poison!
ああ、知ってるよ。素肌に触れれば、だろ。平気だよ。お前の手袋は毒を防ぐためのもんだろ。
Yes, but I... He suddenly pulls me by the arm.
大丈夫。俺を信じろ。
He pulls me to him with a compelling strength that his slender frame belied. For a moment, I fear he will melt, and I stare at him in terror. But...
ほら、なんともねえだろ。
Yes. He looks back at me with an excited smile, a smile that seems totally unfitting for the current situation.
おいおい、そう硬くなるな。せっかくの美人が台無しじゃないか。ゆっくりでいい。力抜いて、俺に全部任せろ。何も怖がることはねえよ。このアルセーヌルパン、欲しい獲物は必ず手に入れる。失敗の確率は常にゼロだ。
As he talks, he pulls me straight beside him and looks about us happily.
さて、最後のダメ押しといこうかね。
The what? I have no idea what he's talking about.
何をしている。あのコソ泥は南に逃げたぞ。おいおい。
ってな。
Oh my gosh, Rolf. I can't believe you would slander him like this. Dang C. Amazing. And yes, Pon, the music is such a bop. Amazingly, Lupin's voice sounded exactly like that of the Captain Leonard.
大将殿、南だ。全員南へ走れ。何をバカな。騙されるな。そいつがルパンだ。
The real captain shouts out through the smoke.
何を言っている。貴様こそルパンだろう。見ろ、私が本物だぞ。騙されてはいかん。
隊長殿が2人。何がどうなってるんだ。この視界じゃ判断がつかない。とにかく怪物の周囲を固めるんだ。
Kinda sus. Oh my god. Nah, he's a good bean. He's a good bean. He's a good bean. By the time the soldiers began to gather around us, Lupin had picked me up and run out. I looked back at the smoke still rising behind us as we rushed through the moonlit grass. The only thing I feel now is Lupin's arms holding me through my clothing. Kinda reminds me of that old French show, Arsène Lupin. Heck yeah. Hi, Solaru. Welcome, welcome to the stream. Welcome, welcome. But yeah, like, basically all the... Besides us, like, the main character, the other characters in the game are based off, various, like, either fictional characters or historical figures. Arsène Lupin is a famous French literary character that was made around the same time that Sherlock Holmes was created. Like, around the same... Literally around the same time. What is going on with my computer? He is based off that original character, which has also been adapted into a whole bunch of stuff. But we're also gonna meet other characters that are either also based off literary characters or based off historical characters. He's the most well-known prototypical gentleman thief character. Yeah, as Pon said. Exactly. I don't know how far we ran. Before I knew it, we were on a track in the forest.
よし、ここまで来れば大丈夫だろう。なんだ？気になるか？大丈夫だよ。偽の痕跡をあらかじめ用意したからな。今頃連中、あさっての方角を探してるだろうよ。よし、今回も無事に回収完了。やっぱ俺は天才だよな。
Lupin stretches and looks up at the night sky. I follow his gaze. How long has it been since I last stared at the stars? Not just through the window in my room, but in the fresh air. The wind brushes against my cheek. Even though I've seen this so many times to be bored with it, now it feels beautiful. Lupin appears to be shaking as he focuses on the sky. What's the matter? Lupin? Have you gone crazy? I'm the Joker, baby.
いや、傑作だったな。連中の顔見たかよ。王室のこの絵が聞いて呆れるぜ。隊長である私を見抜けないとは、それでもお前たちはこの絵かって見事にハマってよ。なあ、お前もそう思わ。
So cute, I just want to pinch his cheeks.
なんか辛そうだな。まさか逃げるときにどっか痛めたか？ どこだ？どこが痛む？隠す必要はないから言ってみろ。
I shake my head. It's not pain, it's sadness. I was ready for death, but here I am. I can't touch anyone. I'm a monster who hurts anyone around me. My life serves no use to anyone.
なんだ、怪我はねえのか。それならいいけどよ。じゃあ、なんでだ？教えてくれ。何が悲しい？
Who are you?
おっと、こりゃ失礼。そういや、改めての自己紹介はまだだったな。
Lupin bows as if on stage.
改めて名乗らせてもらいましょう。私の名はアルセーヌ・ルパン。お嬢さん、訳あってあなたのハートを盗みに来ました。
My heart?
そう、言葉通りにハートさ。だが、ただで盗むってわけじゃねえぜ。美しいご令嬢を悲しませるのは趣味じゃない。お前からハートを盗む代わりに、一つだけお前の願いを叶えてやるよ。
A wish?
ええ、そうですとも。お嬢さん、このしがない泥棒が必ずや真実の言葉を持ってあなたの願いを叶えてみせましょう。
A wish. My heart responds to his words. I have realized what I most desire. Also, because I know that the opening is coming up, and I think it was a little quiet last time when I played it, I'm gonna turn up the opening. There we go. Hopefully now it's not gonna be, too much. Hopefully it's not gonna blast our eardrums now. Believing in the dream. Yeah, I was just poking fun. It fits his character. It really does. A wish tucked deep within my heart that I forbade myself to ever think of. It bubbles up into my mind. I have never touched another person. Not once in my entire life. I resigned myself to a life like that and came to terms with it long ago. As my father said, I would be alone. Forever. But I want to touch you. I want to feel you, your warmth. The words tumble out before I can stop them.
触れる。そうか。お前は。
He stares at me, seemingly deep in thought. Is it impossible?
いや。
Lupin smiles confidently. He kneels down, takes my hand, and smiles.
承知しました。美しいお嬢さん。このアルセーヌ・ルパンの名にかけて、その願い、必ずや。
Only if we're on his route, though. The moon shines brightly up from above. Oh, how beautiful it is. How have I never seen it this way before? But yeah, as I said, like, isn't it pretty obvious that he is the true route? It's really obvious. But we can't go down his route until we do everybody else's route. But luckily, all the other characters are pretty interesting too, so it works out. Even though he's still the best boy. And also has the best ending. But that's a whole nother thing. Oh, opening theme song time. I knew it was coming. Music time. The opening for this is so good. This is one of my favorite Otome game openings. So I can look at you. Hi DBZ. Welcome to the stream. How's it going? Long time no see. I love ya. How's it going? We're playing an Otome game. One of my favorites, to be honest. See, Abraham Van Helsing, another fictional character. Victor Frankenstein. And then historical character, I think, MP Bart. Or no, he might be fictional as well. Saint Germain, though, definitely historical character. Sherlock Sholmes. Such a bop. Such a bop. It's so good. That opening. Top tier opening. One of the best. Top tier. Top tier. Chapter 1. Legally distinct Sherlock Sholmes. For those who don't know, in the Arsene, as I said, Arsene Lupin was made around the same time the Sherlock Holmes was being made. And basically at the time, the author behind Arsene Lupin wanted to make a crossover between his character and Sherlock Holmes, but Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, who wrote the Sherlock Holmes stories, was all like, nah, I don't want to, you can't do a thing with my character or whatever. And so the person who made the Arsene Lupin stories was like, okay. And so he made a character named Sherlock Sholmes. And Conan Doyle was like, what the frick? I told you can't use my character. And he's like, no, this isn't Sherlock Holmes. This is Sherlock Sholmes, a legally distinct character. This is real. This happened. And now, like, multiple stuff has used Sherlock Sholmes. Like, I know the Great Ace Attorney, so the prequel to the Ace Attorney series, the character in that is named, like, I think is named Sherlock Sholmes. Yeah, what a boss. It's so good. And then I think Watson was named Wilson. So it was Sherlock Sholmes and Wilson. And yeah, it is a great song. It's been a doozy, to be honest. I've been so busy with so much work. I've had no time to myself, and whenever I did, I would spend working out or playing games, so I've had no time for Twitch. That's totally fair, DBZ. I totally get that. No worries. I'm glad you're here now. And I hope things calm down a bit more and that you have more free time. Doyle preferred his relative Steve character, Raffles. Heck yeah. I had a dream. Yes, a dream. But yeah, I'm glad you're here, DBZ. And as I said, I hope you get more free time soon. And I totally get that. No worries. A dream about long ago. When I awoke, Father was gone. I still have Father. I must wait for him. I have no other memories, and I don't even know who or what I am. But this doesn't sadden me. He had left a note for me at the mansion. It had a number of rules written on it. Never leave this mansion. I will come back for you, I promise. Lastly, it said this: you must never break these rules, no matter what. If you do, nothing but misfortune will come because you are a monster. Imagine your dad being like, you're a monster. Like, what? Well, thanks, Dad. But there we go. But I broke those rules. On a similar note, Nosferatu was originally titled Dracula, but the Stoker estate threatened to sue, so they just changed the one. Oh, interesting. I had no idea. That's interesting. We're learning all sorts of new things today. That's what caused this to happen. People chased me and called me a monster. Yeah, I guess who's not getting a #1 dad mug this year? Exactly. Terrible, man. People chased me and called me a monster. Even brought misfortune down upon those who have accepted me and tried to love me. And since then, I have kept myself shut in that room for a long, long time. Because I am a monster. Until the day I die, I must sit right there and wait for Father to return. That is what I believed. The sound of birds chirping slowly raises me from my dream into consciousness. I feel a gentle breeze blowing. I'm not in that room anymore. That comforting yet lonely cradle. It comes back to me. Lupin took me away. I open my eyes to see a field of grass stretching as far as the eye can see. There he is!
Yo, やっと起きたな。
Ah, you're finally awake! I'm sorry! Skyrim has ruined this sentence for me. Anytime I hear this sentence, I'm like, oh, oh, you're finally awake. Skyrim intro. Oh no, not again, says Rolf. We wake up, we're in the back of the, like, Cardia wakes up, she's in the back of the cart and is like, oh, you're finally awake. Oh no, you're...
なんだよ、目ん玉パチクリしてよ。ははん。さては俺がいい男すぎて驚いたか？安心しな、それは当たり前の反応だ。俺なんて鏡見るたびに驚いてるぜ。うお、この鏡の向こうのいい男は何者だってな。
It's not that. She shut him down.
冗談が通じねえな。じゃあ、何をそんなに呆然としてんだ？まさか昨日のこと忘れたわけじゃねえだろ？
I woke up and you were right in my face. It was something of a shock. You were too close. You're dressed differently too. That was a little unexpected. You look like a different person.
そいつは結構。俺はお前を驚かせたかったんだからな。
You did? Why?
そんなの決まってるじゃねえか。悲しんでるのと無表情以外の顔が見たかったからだよ。
And why is that?
これから長い付き合いになるんだぜ。相手のことを知りたいって思うのは普通じゃねえか。
What do you mean?
質問が多いお嬢さんだね。それは。そうだ。まずは飯にしようぜ。簡単なもんだけどな。
Lupin lays a cloth down over the grass and places a basket on it.
と言っても、昨夜の夜食用だからな。冷めちまってるが。ま、腹が減ってりゃ何でもうまいだろう。
Lupin places a sunny side up egg on a piece of toast and hands it to me.
どうした？食わないのか？
I haven't shared a meal with another person in a while. This is all so new.
ああ、そうか。お前、ずっと一人で暮らしてたのか。別に礼儀作法が必要なわけでもねえ。心の赴くままに食べりゃいいのさ。仕事の後の飯はうめえ。
He takes a bite of his toast and looks over at me. He tilts his head as if noticing something for the first time.
ってお前食事とか大丈夫か？ほら毒で。
Yes, I can eat. I bring the toast up to my mouth and take a bite. Chew, swallow.
おお、マジだ、すげえ。口の中は物が溶けたりしないのか？
I shrug. It starts to become mushy right away.
おお、ドロドロか。
But I can taste it, and this is very good. I feel the flavor spread through my mouth.
そうかい。そんならよかった。インピーってやつが仲間にいてよ。 そいつがやたら料理に凝っててな。パン生地こねるところから始めんだ。いろいろと隠し味があるらしい。
After one bite, I couldn't stop. I had forgotten what it was like to eat for so long, and delicious food has a way of bringing happiness.
うまいかカルディア。口の中を空にしてから喋れよ。
I swallowed my curt mouthful and asked again. How do you know my name?
そりゃわかるさ。今回の俺のターゲットは他の誰でもなくお前自身なんだ。情報の下調べは抜かりねえさ。
Study up. How did you find out about me?
イギリス政府の極秘資料をちょっとばかり盗み出してな。
I love this line. I happened to procure some confidential materials from the British government just by happenstance, you know? Just happened to get it. Procure.
そう。俺に盗めねえもんはねえってことさ。どんな財宝も、どんな情報もな。
Why did the government have information about me in secret files? This is just one of many questions I have, but I need to know about this man. So, you're really a thief? As you do. Heck yeah.
王をつけてほしいところだな。
An amazing thief.
そう、その通り。アルセーヌ・ルパン。後世に名を轟かす予定の大泥棒にして大盗賊だ。
I wonder what the difference is between a thief and a robber. Isn't stealing bad?
そりゃあ、まあ、基本的にはな。だが、俺は正義の泥棒だから問題なしだ。
Thief and justice seem to be a contradiction.
魅力的な男ってのはいつだって矛盾を抱えて生きてるもんなんだぜ。
He's great. His answer doesn't really make sense to me, but I nod and turn my attention back to my food. Sitting here in the warm sunlight, the meal becomes entrancing. The taste of the egg with Lupin's cheery voice is somehow very soothing. Once I collect my thoughts, I take a better look at Lupin as he eats his egg on toast. I have another question.
どうしてそんなにいい男なのかって？その謎だけはこの俺にも解けねえな。
That's the second time we've had this conversation. This man, it's amazing how much confidence he has. That's not it. He is a very cocky man. That's why I love him. Those men, the ones from yesterday, where were they trying to take me?
ちょっと待ってな。じゃ、まあ一度にあんま話しても頭に入んねえだろうし、簡単にな。まず、お前をさらおうとした連中の目的だが、奴らの狙いはホロロギウムだ。
Holorowadium? Lupin becomes very serious.
永久期間さ。永遠に脈打つハート。永遠に膨大なエネルギーを作り出すことのできると言われる宝石。それがホロロギウムだ。現在の科学では到底作り出すことのできないその宝石を一人の天才が作り出したと。政府の機密書類にはそう書かれてた。過程も理由もわからねえが、その天才は自らの娘の体に宝石を埋め込んだ。
His daughter, you mean?
カルディア、お前のことさ。
Aw, snap. I don't know anything about my father. Do you know him, Lupin? I stare at him in surprise, and he looks back at me with some surprise as well.
そんなの当然じゃねえか。イギリスに住んでるやつなら、いや、世界中の人間が知ってるぜ。むしろ、なんでお前が知らねえんだよ。実の父親だろ
I can only remember 2 years of my life.
2年
Yes, I woke up in that mansion 2 years ago. All I knew was that I had to wait there, that father would come for me. Her dad fed her the kuntatol. Kuntatol. However it's pronounced, oh my god. It's so true. I can't believe her father did that. Actually, no, I can. This is the same guy who's like, yeah, you're a monster. My daughter, you have to sit in this mansion for all your life until I come get you because you can't know love because I'm a terrible father. And yet, I broke the rules that he laid down for me once in the past. I still regret it. Lupin looks at me questioningly, and I speak up again. Even though I don't remember much, I do know some things. I read the books that were in the mansion, but...
なるほど。外の事情はよくわかってないと。知識があっても常識がねえってわけか。
Yeah, exactly, Rolf. Her dad's a terrible person. Like, as you said, like, the whole reason she's poisonous and stuff is because he put that thing inside of her. The Hororogyum. I was waiting for father all the time. He's the only thing I have. Please, Lupin, I want to know more about my father. What is it with VN pro tags and horrible mad scientist dads? I know, right? I know, right? I mean, here's the thing. Like, that's, like, anime in a nutshell. Usually the mom is, like, McFrickin' dead, you know? And then the dad is, like, some crazy lunatic or something. He looks at me for a while, then nods.
わかった。ひとまずざっくりと説明してやるよ。どうせ知らなきゃことは進まねえんだからな。まず第一に、お前の父親はアイザック・ベックフォードって科学者だ。この名前、聞き覚えあるか？
Just like real life. Dang, see. I shake my head.
いや、世界の歴史を変えた科学者。現代のプロメテウスとも呼ばれた男でね。
Prometheus?
ギリシャ神話で人類に火を与えた神の名さ。アイザックは現代社会にそれだけの大変革をもたらしたってことだな。
Revolution of Society. I think I read about that in a book. Was it called the Neo Steam Engine?
おお、知ってたか。そう。その蒸気エネルギーの保存を可能にした発明により、アイザックはイギリスを発明と軍拡の時代へと誘った。英国の軍事技術顧問となったアイザックは、強力な新兵器を数々開発するとともに、気候都市ロンドンの建設に着手するも、ロンドンの完成を見ることなく、自らの地位を後任に託した後、ある日から忽然と姿を消した。
This all seems like a story about a faraway land and doesn't sound real. That man is really my father?
ああ、俺の入手した情報によればそうなってる。お前の方で何か思い出せることはないか？
I shake my head. Lupin seems a little disappointed, but sighs.
とにかく英国軍の連中はホロロギウムを回収するためにお前の屋敷に来た。理由はまあろくなもんじゃねえようだがな。すべての背後にあるのはアイザックの意志だろう。
My father's will?
そこで華麗なる泥棒紳士であるこの俺は連れて行かれるお前を横からかっさらおうと考えたわけだ。
All this information is flooding into my head, and I feel a little dizzy. I must look very serious because Lupin smiles as if to lighten the mood.
まあ、いきなりいろいろ話しても理解できねえだろ。また機会を見て何度でも話してやるから、少しずつ分かっていけばいい。
He's such a good boy. Okay, I'll do that.
さて、今度は俺が質問する番だぜ。
I'll answer what I can.
ホロロギウムだが、お前の体に 心臓に埋め込まれてるって話、それは本当なのか？
I nod. It's true. There is a gem embedded into my body. I start to undo my clothing to show him.
はお前何やってんだ？
This is the Horogyum, isn't it? He's like, start stripping. He looks surprised for a moment, but Lupin's expression turns serious as he looks at my chest. A strange gem. It gleams on my chest like a beating heart. A glowing blue crest spreads across my chest with the gem in the center. The Horogyum is shaped like a flower. A large blue gem shaped like a rose spreads across my chest, piercing my skin in places. I have no idea what effect this stone has on my body. But I had to consider that the poison in my body has something to do with this gem. I don't know anything about this. Other people don't have it, only me. What is it? I want to know too.
わかった。俺のわかってることは全部話す。それはそれとして。
What's that?
お前はまず服を着ろ。
Why?
どうしてって。そりゃお前、レディのたしなみってもんだろうが。
Lupin turns away. Etiquette. I've read about that in the mansion's books. Etiquette is one of the utmost importance in how men and women interact. I see, so having my shirt off is improper. Okay. I put my clothing back on and sit up. Is this better?
なあ、それでいい。俺が紳士だったからよかったものの、そうじゃなかったらどうなってたことか。
I'm sorry.
ああ、いや、別に怒ってるわけじゃねえさ。記憶もそうだが、常識がねえってのも不便なもんだな。
Lupin inhales sharply, then turns to me with something of a puzzled expression.
さっきから疑問に思ってたんだがよ。お前、なんで俺にこれから自分がどうなるか聞かねえんだ？
Is that something I should ask you?
そうじゃねえけど、お前、俺にさらわれてるんだぜ。普通気にならねえ？これからどうなるかとかよ。
I think for a moment. It really doesn't matter.
割となんだお前、変わってんな。
A thief with a heart of justice is somewhat odd too.
確かにな。変わってるもん同士、話が合うかもしれねえな。ま、そういうことなら話は早い。俺の根城はロンドンにある。これからそこに行くぞ。
London?
そう、飛行都市ロンドンだ。
You mentioned that before. What is Steel London?
本気で知らねえのか？これは本当に真相のお嬢様だな。
I told you I never left the mansion.
いや、悪い。別にバカにしたわけじゃねえよ。ロンドンってのは地名だな。
We're in a steampunk universe,
蒸気
guys.
の都市だぜ。
A city of steam? I can't imagine such a thing.
なに、行けばわかるさ。見たことないってんならきっと驚くだろうよ。
I have a question.
おう、遠慮なく言ってみな。何でも答えてやるぜ。
Why did you want to capture me? Are you after the Horogyum too?
お前がアイザックの計画を知る手がかりになると踏んだからだ。俺はアイザックを追ってる。行方不明になって早数年。死んだって見方が一般的だが、未だに歴史の舞台裏で何かろくでもないことを企んでる。俺はその手がかりを掴んでてな。
But yeah, this is another game where we're gonna have to beat up our dad.
俺は動いてるってわけだ。奴の娘のお前なら何か知っているかもと思ったが、ちょっとばかり当てが外れたな。
My father's plans.
だが、俺の勘は鋭くてな。お前はこの先間違いなくアイザックにたどり着くための
Dad punching sim 2022, let's go.
形にはなったが、俺に協力してくれ。
I'm sorry, I can't do that.
ま、素直にうなずくとは思ってなかったけどよ。理由を聞いてもいいか？
Okie doke, Solaru, no worries. Have a good lurk. Thanks for joining. What happens to me doesn't matter. But I don't want to let my father down by breaking the rules he set for me. Lupin looks at me questioningly. I was told to stay in that mansion and wait for father to return. I hurt people, that's why I need to be kept away from everyone. This poison, it hurts and kills anything it touches, that's why I must stay there. That is what my father said in his note.
ずっと孤独に生きろって？そんな親の言うことなんざ聞く必要はねえよ。
We stand this man! He says it like it is. We're gonna beat up our dad. But...
それにな、カルディア。自分のことどうでもいいなんて言うな。お前にとってお前より大切な奴なんていねえんだ。それによ、お前も父親に会いたいってなら、こっちから探しに行けばいい。
How would I do that?
そうだ。ロンドンにはあらゆる情報が集まる。あれほど人探しに向いてる場所はねえよ。だいたいあの屋敷にいたら、今度こそ軍隊に連れてかれるぞ。
Those men, they feared me and called me a monster. Lupin is much better than those men. I haven't known him long, but I can tell.
それに、ロンドンには貴族専用の高名な医者連中が山ほどいる。その毒とやらもなんとかなるかもしれねえ。
I didn't expect to hear that. You think they can make it go away?
ああ、必ずなんとかしてやる。約束したろ。お前の願いは叶えるって。だが、そのためにもお前には協力してもらうぜ。これからしばらくは俺のそばにいてもらう。それが交換条件だ。
Lupin extends his hand to me. I look down at my own hand, then up into Lupin's eyes. They glitter in the sunlight. Okay, so we're at our first choice here. So technically this isn't really a choice. Because if we say refuse here, we're just gonna get a bad ending. And it's a really dumb bad ending too. Like, there's not really a point to doing it. Because we basically say, sorry, we can't. And he's like, oh, that's sad. And then, like, fades to black. And it's like, game over. And it's like, oh, okay, thanks. So, we're supposed to take his hand. There's no real actual option here. Though I do think it's funny. Like, this is, like, one of those games where it gives you that option of just ending the game at the start. Being like, yeah, goodbye. Which is pretty funny. But now we're gonna take his hand. And the reason that that choice is highlighted is because I did, as I said, I did play through some of this already with Azure last night. And I've played through this whole game in the past, but not on here through the Switch port or anything like that. So that's also why a lot of the terms have not been showing up either, because I already looked at the terms beforehand. But yeah, I nod hesitantly and take his hand.
よーし、これで契約は成立だ。
I feel his strong grip through my gloves. When I see his smiling face, I feel a warmth in my chest, like a wind blowing into my heart.
そうと決まれば、あとはあいつを待つだけだな。
For who?
おう、覚悟しとけよ。あいつはお前みたいな可愛い女に目がねえから。
I am cute? Lupin smirks and bows deeply.
もちろんでございますとも、お嬢様。ロンドンに着けば
Once we arrive in London... Oh wait, no, that's him talking. I don't know why I started talking. It's nice that the game gives you an option to just not play. Yeah, basically. The game just lets you decide, like, nah, I'm not playing this game. The end. Wait, I've seen enough already. That was good enough. The intro was all I wanted to see.
甘い罠にはくれぐれもご用心ください、お嬢様。
Lupin's voice is both serious and formal, and I nod meekly in reply.
ここ笑うところなんだけどな。
Oh my gosh. He's great. I hear the sound of machinery from afar. Maybe those soldiers from last night have found us after all. I stiffen up. Lupin pats me lightly on the shoulder.
安心しとけ。ありゃ仲間だ。うざったさじゃ英国軍の比じゃねえけどな。
Group? I wonder if whoever is approaching is the same person Lupin had mentioned before. I turn and see the machine draw closer, spewing black smoke and roaring. I remember it from last night, a metal box on wheels, a self-propelled machine. It was called an automobile. A horseless carriage is probably the most fitting description. It's so fast. It screeches loudly and comes to a stop in front of me.
Hey, Lupin! 生きてたか?
A man covered in soot and wearing goggles sits in a seat atop the machine.
いや、遅くなって悪いね。愛車が言うこと聞かなくってさ。って誰だその可愛い子ちゃん。あ、さてはお前、お宝盗むの諦めてナンパしてやがったな。俺にも紹介しろよこの野郎。
アホ。目の前にいるその可愛い子ちゃんとやらがお宝だよ。
はあ？何言ってんの？
The man gets up to leave his seat. Fire bursts out from the machine and a cloud of smoke surrounds us. Lupin quickly jumps in front of me to shield me with his body. When the blast subsides, I peek around Lupin to look at the newcomer. Yeah, there he is.
またスチームエンジンがイカれちまった。
Yeah, he's one of the main characters, so we'll see him a lot.
2分待ってて。今すぐ君の王子様が素敵な出会いを演出するからね。
But we've already had a first encounter. I love you, the man shouts in response for some reason before diving underneath his vehicle.
やっぱこのパイプか。新品にしてえけど先立つもんがな。よーしいい子だ。よーしよしよし。はい、乗った。
The machine releases another huge puff of smoke as he taps it with his wrench.
ごめんね。この子もじゃじゃ馬ちゃんでね。でもこれでちゃんと走れるからさ。
おい、インピー。これ本当にロンドンまで持つんだろうな。
失礼だな。この天才技師が行けるって言ってるんだから。 持たないわけがねえだろ。
He stands in the smoke and looks at me. There he is.
よっ、はじめまして、可愛い子ちゃん。白馬に乗った。 君だけの王子の登場だよ。
He raises his goggles and smiles at me with his soot-covered face.
ま、悪いやつじゃねえから気にすんな。見ての通り、ただのへっぽこ技師だ。
へっぽこはひでえな。抜群の技師にして大発明家。超絶美形な気品があふれる違いのわかるいい男。そしていつか月に降り立つ男、インピーバービケン。現在全力で彼女募集中。よろしく。
I'm Cardia. It's nice to meet you.
うわ、なになに、よく見ると本当に可愛いじゃん。俺、ミロのヴィーナスが絵から出てきたのかと思ったよ。
ミロのヴィーナスは彫像だろうが、相変わらずいい加減なやつだな。
あ、俺のことはインピーって呼んだよね、カルディアちゃん。
As he's saying this, he gives me a good long stare.
よーし、君は特別だ。ご依頼があれば愛のメンテナンスを大サービスしちゃうぜ。今夜君をチューンナップ。
I love the little ching. I'm not sure how to deal with him. As Impy wipes his grimy face with a rag, Lupin hits him in the face with a punch.
いって何すんだよルパン。
ヨタ話はここまでだ。そろそろ行くぞ。軍の連中もバカじゃねえんだ。長いは無用だ。
へいへい、相変わらず肉体言語がお好きなようで、そんなんじゃレディーにモテないぜ。
安心しろ。肉体言語はお前レベルのやつ限定だ。
ああ、そんじゃ心配しなくてもいいか。俺レベルはなかなかいないもんな。
ああ、お前レベルはなかなかいねえよ。
Impy is cheerful while Lupin sounds annoyed. It's almost as if they're having different conversations.
じゃあエンジンかけるぜ。
The machine roars to life and spews another cloud around us.
お、もしかしてまた蒸気漏れ。機嫌直してエンジンちゃん。
What can I say? There are lots of strange people in the world. After this rough start, the automobile runs smoothly for a while as we ride. As we go along, Lupin explains to Impy our situation and what had happened to us.
なるほどね。つまりはルパン、お前が彼女のヒーローみたいな立ち位置になっちゃったわけね。いいな、羨ましい。その役俺と変われよ。
おい、感想それかよ。もっと他に驚くとこあっただろうがよ。
The conversations between Lupin and Impy always seem to go this way. I could tell that they got along quite well. From time to time, the car screeches and releases a cloud of steam. It seems that this machine runs on steam power. The books in the mansion describe steam engines, and the diagrams of them always include a way to vent waste steam. But this automobile doesn't have one. As Impy explained, the Neo steam engine invented by my father allows that energy to be stored without releasing it. That meant that engines could keep steam without the tedious task of constantly stoking a fire and burning coals. That's as much as I understood from Impy's description. It all seems frightfully complicated. Still, Impy's endless chatter and Lupin's arguing serve to lift my spirits. We pass through fields, towns, and forests as the automobile runs on and on. Although it lets out some steam from time to time, it never breaks down again. According to Lupin, it's something of a miracle that it runs so smoothly. Impy's talk continues like a river, keeping up stream of conversation. Lupin chimes in occasionally, but I catch him nodding off once or twice. He was probably up the whole time. We drove for a long time, but I was never bored during the trip. The sun is now high in the sky. We finish lunch and ride for a few more hours. Lupin, who had been staring into the distance from the passenger seat, suddenly stretches. What is?
この丘を越えれば気候都市ロンドンのご登場だ。
A short while later, just as Lupin said, London appears in all its glory. The city that sprawls ahead of us is nothing short of a metropolis. It's far larger than any city that the books I read spoke of, larger than I could have imagined. It's amazing. Any words used to describe it fall short.
二重の巨大な壁と壁上にある砲塔の群れで守られる気候都市。それがロンドンだ。
驚いたでしょ、カルディアちゃん。きっと中に入ったらもっと驚くぜ。水道設備は整ってるし、至る所にあるガス灯のおかげで夜でも昼間みたいに輝いてる。飛行船の係留塔なんかも上層領域じゃ森の木みたいにいっぱい立ってんだぜ。
This is London? How did such a huge city come to exist?
いや、今の姿になったのはイギリス最高権力者ビクトリア女王の指揮あってこそだな。一昔前とは大違いだぜ。
もともと大都市だったとはいえさ、こんだけでかい都市を着工から5年で完成させたってんだから驚きだよな。
女王も急ぐ必要があったんだろう。ロンドンを要塞都市として生まれ変わらせることでイギリスの強力な軍事力を誇示したかったんだ。イギリスはヨーロッパ各国に敵対視されてる。軍備充実による他国への牽制がなけりゃ今頃イギリス対ヨーロッパで戦争中だよ。
I continue to look across the great city as I listen to Impy and Lupin.
見てわかる通りロンドンは壁によって2つに分かれてんだ。外側のごちゃっとした町やら森やら工場やらがアウターロンドンの地域だな。ロンドンの蒸気エネルギー生成を一手に担う中層街や荒くれ者の多い貧困街、森林部には金持ちたちの別荘もあったりする。で、壁を隔てた都市の中心部がセントラルロンドン。この国の政治機関が集中してる場所だ。金持ちや権力者、貴族たちの屋敷は大体ここだな。で、俺たちが住んでるのはグレーターロンドンの森林部。ある貴族の屋敷に間借りしてるような状態だな。
An aristocrat?
それは後で紹介する。カルディア、ここでインピーと待ってろ。
Lupin turns his back on us and gathers his hat and cloak to leave. What's the matter, Lupin?
ああ、ちょっと偵察に行ってくる。
偵察？なんでそんな面倒なことを。
仕方ねえだろ。このまま外壁に行ったら検問だ。様子を見てくる。公にするとも思えねえが、カルディア、お前を探してるかもしれねえしな。
You can see the wall from here?
カルディア、覚えておきな。目が良くなきゃ。
目が良くなきゃいい泥棒にはなれない。はいはい。何回言うんだかな、そのセリフ。気をつけなよ、カルディアちゃん。ルパンは相当な説教好きだから。
説教はお前がバカばっかするからだろうが。とにかく行ってくる。小1時間程度で戻ると思うが、一応周りには気をつけろよ。
Love their dynamic so much. See you later. Lupin waves to us and leaves.
やっと二人きりになれたね、カルディアちゃん。
I nod, watching Lupin's receding back, getting smaller in the distance. For some reason, I suddenly feel lonely.
どうだい、 俺とロンドン万博で展示された新型スクリュープロペラ用蒸気機関について語り合わないかい？
Yeah, this is real interesting.
シリンダー4本を駆動させて700馬力を実現させてるんだぜ。
Isn't that
そ
incredible?
の上軽くてコンパクト、科学ってすごいよな。
Impy suddenly reaches out as if to stroke my cheek with his hand. I flinch back. If you touch my skin, you'll melt.
もっとそうだった。あまりの美しさに忘れてた。いい女にはトゲがあるって本当なんだな。
Impy, there's something I'd like you to tell me. What kind of person is Lupin?
ルパンのことそんなに気になる？いいな、ルパンばっかり。あ、俺の趣味とか聞きたい？
I don't understand. Lupin saved me. I don't know why. That's what I'd like to know. She just brushes him
お
off.
う、とてもナチュラルに無視するね。いいよ、カルディアちゃん。ナイスクールビューティー。なあ、嘘、ちゃんと話すよ。そんな冷たい目で見ないで、俺泣いちゃう。というか、ルパン、何も話してなかったの？まあ、いっぺんに話して混乱させないようにってことなんだろうけど。よし、そんじゃあ、お近づきの印に、この天才技師インピーさんが教えてあげよう。あいつはね、いわゆる正義の味方なんだよ。
Is that so?
そう。あいつは照れて認めないかもだけどさ。アイザックが作ったイギリスの特務機関、黄昏。まあ今別の人間が率いてるって話だけど。ほら、君をさらったイギリス軍の連中いるでしょ。あれだって本当は黄昏の連中がやる予定になってたんだ。でもどこかで計画変更になってこの衛兵の連中が駆り出されたってわけ。まあでも助かったよ。黄昏は軍人の中でもエリート揃いだしね。黄昏から君をかっさらうとなればルパンだって危なかっただろうし。まあこれは運が良かったというほかないよ。ルパンが言うには黄昏が大規模なテロを計画してるらしい。で、その作戦実行のきっかけがホロロギウム。君の胸元にある宝石だっけ？それなんだってさ。
This stone? I raise my hands to my chest protectively.
あくまで聞いた話だけどね。で、その情報を偶然知ったルパンはそれを阻止しようとしてるんだ。そのために連中の親玉であるアイザックの行方を探したり君を助けたりしてんだって。ねえ、なんか結構正義の味方でしょ。泥棒のくせしてさ。
I see. Lupin himself said that he saved me because he was a thief with a heart of justice. Just knowing all this makes me very happy. So Lupin's not a bad man.
おいおい、俺を悪人だと思ってたのか？
I turned, startled to see Lupin behind me.
その様子じゃ全部話しちまったみてえだな。ま、そういうわけだ。お前をさらう指示を出したのは大方政府の権力者の一人だろう。もちろん政府が相手だろうがお前を手渡すつもりは全くないけどな。今更だが悪いな。俺の勝手に巻き込んで。
I shake my head at Lupin's words. I can't find the right words to say it, but meeting you, I think it was a good thing.
そうか、そりゃよかった。
でも一応いることを忘れないでね。
If he's like, I'm here, guys. Oh, and Lupin?
おう、また無視ですか。
Poor Impy. I want to know about my father, too. There's so much I need to ask him. Why I was left alone in that mansion. Why I have no memories. If he can make this poison go away. Why did he make me? A monster. I need to ask him face to face.
なら、俺とお前の目的は一致してる。改めて、これからよろしく頼むぜ。
Lupin holds out his right hand. The second handshake. I shake his hand without hesitation.
俺もよろしく、カルディアちゃん。
Put her there! Impy firmly grasps my other hand. His smile is the brightest I've ever seen. Amazing.
で、話は変わるんだが、検問の様子を見てきた。まあ、こいつを見てくれ。
Lupin pulls some papers from his jacket. Wanted, crimes against the state, Victor Frankenstein?
どれどれウェストリバー工場爆破テロ。12人を殺害した凶悪犯。はあ、人間には危ないやつが多いね。
もともとは宮廷錬金術師筆頭研究官。エリート中のエリートだったようだが、こうなっちゃ経歴も台無しだな。
The picture on the wanted poster is of a kind-looking young man with glasses. He doesn't look vicious at all. It doesn't pay to judge a book by its cover.
で、この手配書がどうしたの？
どうやらそいつを捕まえるべく検問をやってるようだ。俺たちとは関係ねえが、裏で俺らのことも探してるかもしれね
え。まあな、俺ら今誘拐犯みたいなもんだしな。
I love this. I love this part. They're like, oh yeah, we did kind of kidnap a girl. And then the girl who was kidnapped is like, I'm sorry to cause you trouble, guys.
お前が謝ることじゃねえだろ。そもそも俺らが好きでやったことだしな。
そうそう。気にしないで、カルディアちゃん。じゃあ、ほとぼりが冷めるまでロンドンには入らない方がいいってこと？
いや、ロンドンは人で溢れてる。中まで行きゃ、よほどのことがない限り見つからねえだろう。できる限り早くロンドンに入りてえとこだな。
じゃあどうすんだよ。
写真の類は撮られてねえはずだ。それに、昨夜の連中は王室の近衛兵。わざわざ検問に出張ってくるとも思えねえ。身分を偽れば簡単に抜けられるさ。
Impy and I nod along with Lupin's plan. They give me a map to the mansion in case something happens to separate us and I have to go alone. To be even more cautious, in order to avoid the three of us being captured together, we decide to split into two groups. Okay, so I mentioned this before, but Lupin's route is locked until you do everybody else's route. Like, you literally have to play all the other routes before you can play Lupin's route, which is, I mentioned it's like the biggest cock block, because so far the game has really been pushing for Lupin. Like, real hard pushing for Lupin. Like, Lupin and Cardia have had the most scenes together, and they're gonna continue to have, like, the most close scenes together during the common route, but you can't date him yet despite that, which I think is so, like, funny. Like, it makes sense considering his route, like, reveals literally all the secrets of the game, and it has the best ending as well, with all the loose ends tied and everything. So it makes sense that you wouldn't get to play it until, like, the end, because there wouldn't really be a reason to play any of the other routes after playing his, unless you really liked a character and wanted to see it. So it makes sense that it would be locked, but it is funny that the game really pushes it and then is like, well, but you can't date him though. You gotta wait. Gotta wait several routes. But basically, since his route is locked right now, This part right here, if his route was open, there would be a choice here. And we would be able to... So it says we decide to split into 2 groups. And basically the choice would be to either go with Impy or to go with Lupin through the gate. But we're not gonna get this choice until his route is locked at the end of the game. So right now we're just going with Impy regardless. That choice is not available to us. And there's multiple times where this is gonna happen in the game where there would be choices where we could side with Lupin, but they won't be unlocked until his route is unlocked. So.
まあ、インピーと一緒に行くのが無難といや無難だな。
With Lupin's suggestion, Impy and I proceed to the checkpoint together. He and I are supposedly going to try to pass as a married couple to make it through. Impy and I, the 2 of us.
そんな不安そうな顔しないでよ、カルディアちゃん。夫であるこの俺がどんな時でも支えるからさ。そう。 健やかなる時もやめる時もさあ誓いのキスを
ああはいはいとっとと行ってこいそして捕まって
Just hurry up and get caught
なんで捕まるの前提なんだよ
アルディア気をつけろよこれは遊びでやってる場合
And your partner is Impy
パートナーはインピだ
I understand
どうして俺がパートナーだとそんな決意が必要になってくるの
Biggest of beefs. We approach a huge gate. Beyond it, I see many buildings. The gate is crowded with people, and a line is waiting to get through the checkpoint. Papers, please? We join the long line. Finally, it is our turn. I'm a little nervous.
まあ安心しなよ。このインピー様の発明品に任せておけば。あれ、発明品どこやったっけ？確かポケットに。
I'm extremely uneasy.
おお、あったあった。これだよこれ。聞いてよ、カルディアちゃん。これはね。
次のもの前へ。
お、いよいよ俺らの番だ。行こうぜ。なに？俺を信じて身を委ねてりゃいいのさ。
Bets place. How well is this gonna go? Impy, wait. How well is this gonna go? Impy and I walk over to the guard.
ロンドン市民か。
いや、ロンドン観光に来たんだよ。ね、ナタシアちゃん。
Impy turns to me and wiggles his eyebrows.
ね、ナタシアちゃん。
Who's Natasha?
ちょっと話合わせなきゃ。演技でいいんだって演技で。
You have to tell me things like this beforehand.
アドリブ。人生にはアドリブ大切だよ、カルディアちゃん。
カルディア？おい、そっちの娘の名前はナタシアじゃなかったのか？
あ。
怪しいやつだな。ふざけてるなら捕まえて取り調べるぞ。
The other guards begin to gather around us. I feel someone staring at me in turn. Lupin is watching us with a look of disbelief and frustration. It seems more like we cornered ourselves. And had a full run, no less.
だがしかし、こんなこともあろうかと、インピーさんは秘密兵器を用意していたのだ。
兵器だと?
The guards stand back warily as Impy holds up a tiny tube over his head.
そう、名付けて瞬間催眠装置。 この光を浴びれば立ちどころに俺の言うことに逆らえなくなるのだ。
なんだと。
If you had something like that all along, why didn't you use it sooner?
さあ食らえ、インピーフラッシュ。
これは何の冗談だ。
え、あれあれれ、ピカって光るはずなのにフラッシュバルブの調整間違ったかな。
Impy fiddles with the tube. Impy, I think we might be in trouble. The guards circle around us, blocking our way and ready to attack. They're going to get us.
怪しいやつめ、詰め所へ来い。全員で一斉に飛びかかるぞ。
おう、これまた団体さんでまあ。けど、甘いな。この天才技師の奥の手、舐めないでもらおうか。
What's your last idea?
それは。
Impy suddenly grabs me and lifts me up off the ground.
逃げるんだよ。
Here he goes!
逃げたぞ。おえ、おえ。
Impy is the best. Impy begins running at a furious speed with the guards on his heels. There he goes!
ここから先は行かせん。
He's just running! Impy doesn't stop running, not even with the guns pointed at him. He flies past everyone.
よいしょ。
He leaps up, flying over the guards' heads.
このまま逃げ切るよ、カルディアちゃん。
I see!
走れ俺、風のごとく。
Amazing. Impy somehow picks up speed. I'm impressed with his physical abilities. But this hardly counts as an ace for a genius engineer to play. He runs for a while, and once we are both certain that the guards have lost us, he lets me down.
危ないところだったね。もちろん俺の活躍によってなんとかなったけども。
Yeah, I suppose it did. I see his satisfied expression and can't bring myself to mention that his actions were what caused all the trouble as well. You're very fast. Perhaps even faster than the automobile that we rode here in.
俺ってば、やるときはやる男なんだよね。どうぞ。
I feel like that isn't the last time he'll let you down. Too real. Too real. We always need a comic relief character, and Impy is the one for this game. No, I wasn't in love with you to begin with, Cardia with the slam dunk. I'm not being shy.
さてさて、ずいぶん走ったけど、どうやら仮想街にまで入っちゃったみたいだね。
Where is that? I look around us. The buildings are smaller than near the entrance and seem less well maintained. Still, the people here look cheerful and they greet each other happily as they pass. I hear laughter and shouting from all around us.
ああ、ほら、ルパンが説明してたでしょ。仮想街、アウターロンドンの貧民街。
Oh, we finally have a glossary term again. Because we're finally at a part that I haven't already played on this version of the game. A very intricate neighborhood that looks like a mess of odds and ends. Its residents have little income and the area is not very safe.
元はロンドン再建に関わった労働者の仮住まいがあった地区なんだ。
It's very lively.
確かに賑やかだし面白いけど注意はした方がいいかな。うぞうむぞういるからさ。君みたいな女の子が一人で来るとたちの悪い連中に囲まれちゃうぜ。
Troublemakers like you, Impy? I knew it! In my head, I was like, Kardia's gonna say like you, Impy. And I knew it. I called it.
そうそう、俺のような。何その低評価。せめてもう少し俺を知ってから判断して。
Lupin said that I had to watch out for you, that you were trouble. I'm sorry if I was mistaken.
くそ、ルパンめ。あることないこと吹き込みやがって。
We continued talking this way as we made our way toward the mansion that Lupin had made his hideout here in London. I thought we would make it there without any further problems, but as I stood admiring a street performance, I turned to see that I was alone in the crowd. He's not here. Not over there either. I look for the man I have been traveling with, but I can't find him. Remember, Rolf, how you said, I feel like this isn't the last time he'll let you down? Here we go again. If I take too long, the sun will set. What should I do? There isn't much that I can do. I need to make my own way to the mansion. He might already be waiting for me there.
誰かお探しですか?
Someone calls out to me.
よかったら力になりましょうか?
That would be very kind of you. Oh no, Kardia! I bow to the helpful man.
それでどんな人をお探しで?
A tall man with long hair, calling himself an engineer.
へっぽこ技師。その人かわかりませんが、似たような外見の人ならさっき見ましたよ。案内しましょうか?
That would be wonderful. Please do.
お安いご用です。さあ、こちらですよ。
The man starts walking ahead of me and I follow along. I continue to follow him into an alley. There is no one else around, and the street here is covered in filth. What would he be doing here? Kardia! Excuse me, but where is he?
もう少しですよ。もう少し。
Thank you, you're so kind. To Kardia! He has no life experience, that's all. Poor girl. We continue to walk even further. I can't even hear the street noise now. The man turns to face me.
ここです。ここで見たんですよ。
There's no one here.
出てこいてねえら。獲物を連れてきたぞ。
お、上玉じゃん。
売り飛ばしたら結構な金になるんじゃね?
Two men appear from the shadows behind him. They must be friends of the kind man. Worth a lot? What are you talking about?
あんたのことだよ。お嬢さん。
The man reaches out to me. With fear and memory bursting through me, I back away. Don't touch me.
いいね。そういう反応。悪くない。悪くないよ。
The men draw closer and I try to back up. Soon my back hits the wall. I don't know what these men intend to do, but it's surely something I won't welcome. There is nowhere to run. I start to panic and look around.
声を上げても無駄だぜ。この辺りじゃ 誰も助けになんて来ねえからな。
The man reaches out again, and I flinch. He grabs my shirt and tries to rip it open. No! Don't touch me!
綺麗な肌じゃねえか。
おいお前手を見ろ手
Smoke is rising from the skin of the man who had touched me.
あっちー
He starts to scream and roll on the ground, clutching his hand as a burning odor begins to fill the area.
なんだどういう手品だわからねえおい油断すんなよこいつ見かけ通りの女じゃねえぞ
肌に触れた途端、手が焼けただれた。
You're the guys trying to
こいつ、化け物だ。
assault me, and you guys are calling me the monster? I told you not to touch me. What the frick? People are awful. The other two men pull out knives and slowly approach me. There's no escape. I wonder if the knives would melt if they touched me, and if they would still hurt.
死ね
The man raises his knife high.
目を閉じて耳を塞いで
Oh, we're about to meet another love interest. Let's go. I hear a voice shout, and something lands on the ground between myself and the man. There's a burst of intense light and sound when the object hits the ground. I had quickly covered my eyes and ears as instructed, but the intensity still makes me dizzy for a moment. I lose my balance and fall over, but oddly, I fail to hit the ground.
もう大丈夫ゆっくり目を開けてごらん
There he is! Victor Frankenstein. I open my eyes. Someone is holding me.
怪しいものじゃないよ君をどうこうする気もない安心して
Thank you for saving me. Who are
ご
you?
めん訳あって名乗ることはできないあまだ少し顔色が悪いね
What happened to those men?
みんな倒れてるよ
Are they dead?
心配しないで彼らは気絶しただけだ五感に強烈な刺激を与えられたことで目を回してるだけさ
Good.
ずいぶん優しいんだね自分を襲った奴らを心配するなんてそれにしてもその胸元の宝石はあこれは失礼女性の胸元をまじまじと見つめるなんて申し訳ない悪気はなかったんだ
He gently releases me.
君みたいな女の子がこんなところにいちゃダメだこの辺りは治安が悪いからねそれに知らない人の言葉はまず疑うこと特にこういった場所ではね
I see. Another good
ひ
boy.
とまず通りまでエスコートするよまた何かあったら大変だ
Thank you, but can I trust you? You're a stranger too.
僕に限っては例外扱いにしてほしいところかな
He starts walking back up the alley and I follow along, fixing my clothing. His face seems so familiar. After we walk for a while, I hear the city.
さてここまで来れば大丈夫かなこれからは気をつけてね
Alright.
ところで改めて聞きたいことがあるんだけど
くそ、一体どこに消えた？この辺りに隠れているはずだ。くまなく探せ。
I stiffen in reaction to the angry shouting coming towards us. Could they be more of the men who had tried to kidnap me?
くそ
もうここまで追っ手が回ったか。予想してたよりも早いな。
What?
どこに消えたビクター・フランケンシュタイン。
The name shocks me into recognition, and I stare up at the man with me. I remember now, you're the wanted man.
まあお察しの通りだよ。僕が指名手配犯のビクター・フランケンシュタインさ。
He laughs without humor, then narrows his eyes behind his glasses.
君つけられてるね。
What are you talking about?
こっち。
Frankenstein suddenly takes my hand and begins running. Wait! Mr. Frankenstein! What do you mean I'm being followed? Aren't you the one being chased?
フランでいいよ。もちろん僕も追われてるけど、君も追われてるようだよ。
Pursued? By the police?
いや、ヤードの連中が追ってるのは僕だけだ。君はもっと別の、もっとずっと怖いやつに追われてる。
Who?
黄昏だよ。
Oh, Twilight. Victor doesn't respond to any more of my questions, and we continue running. I can't believe sparkling vampires are after me, y'all. After we have run through the maze-like warren of alleyways, he finally comes to a stop. Victor, are you alright?
大丈夫。というか、すごいな君。息一つ乱してない。やっぱりその宝石の力が。
The gem?
いや、なんでもないよ。気にしないで。
Victor, are you really the same Victor Frankenstein as on the wanted posters? Hi, Azure! I love you! How's it going? Welcome, welcome. Welcome, Azure, to the stream. How's it going? I had to switch last minute to this game because Rolf was tired today, which is totally fair. I want Rolf to get some good rest. His health is the #1 most important thing. So I decided just to play some Code Realize, which is, as I've mentioned before, one of my fave VNs. And so I played through the beginning, and now I'm at the part now where we met our next love interest, possible love interest, Victor Frankenstein. And now we're hanging out with him, trying to get back to Lupin and Impy, while we're getting chased by Twilight soldiers. So, you know, sparkling vampires.
けど、僕は誓って罪など犯してないんだ。出会ったばかりの君にこんなことを言っても信じられないと思うけど、僕は何もしていないんだ。無実のまま指名手配犯にされている。僕を犯罪者に従っている人たちにね。
Who would want to do that?
イギリス政府さ。彼らは僕を。
Victor abruptly stops talking. He looks behind me, eyes round in surprise. What's the matter?
危ない。
Oh, snap. Victor suddenly pushes me down. At the same time, I hear a strange noise. I turn behind me to look and see a man wearing a bizarre bird-like mask pointing a blade straight at me. What?
頭を下げて。
As the man raises his sword again, Victor throws a glass tube full of liquid. I feel a blast of heat and hear a muffled sound. It's probably the same thing he used to save me earlier. However, the masked man jumps away quickly to avoid the explosion. Victor takes my hand and throws 2 more tubes at the other man. Explosions go off one after another. Through the rising black smoke, I see the mysterious man on the ground.
急いでここを離れよう。すぐに仲間もやってくるはずだ。逃げた方がいい。
Victor begins running and I follow. I continue to chase after him until we arrive at a large street. Compared to the impoverished area, this place is much cleaner and better organized. It's probably a street in Midtown, like Lupin explained to me. Midtown, much cleaner than Lower Town, with wider streets. Its residents are composed of the working class, with a handful of upper classes mixed in.
ここまで逃げれば大丈夫。追ってはいないはず。
Victor, are you alright?
いや、大丈夫。ちょっと運動不足で。僕は本来学者だから体を動かすのが苦手で。
Poor Victor. Victor catches his breath and looks at me.
けどよかった。怪我もなく、なんとか逃げ出せたんだから。
I nod in agreement. Thank you for saving me twice.
いや、お礼なんていいさ。僕が勝手に君を助けたんだからね。それよりも、君は僕から逃げないのかい？
Why would I run from you now?
どうしてって、ほら、一応僕は指名手配犯だ。逃げるなり、大声を出すなり、警察に逃げ込むなり。
Should I?
いやいや、決してそういうわけじゃないんだけどね。
You're a good person who saved me, and I'm on the run as well. Victor smiles a little.
そうか。改めて自己紹介させてほしい。僕の名前はビクター・フランケンシュタイン。もともとは政府に仕える錬金術師なんだ。
A former British royal alchemist who was a leading researcher in many fields, he is currently wanted as a violent criminal. I know, I read the poster. It said you were behind a terrorist attack on a factory.
でもそれは濡れ衣だ。僕はやってない。すぐには信じてはもらえないだろうけど。
I believe you. Okay, I believe you. It's wrong not to trust someone who has risked his own safety to save me not once but twice. Okie doke. Thanks for hanging out, Rolf. I have. Oh my gosh, sorry. I can't talk while someone else is talking. Okay. Thanks for hanging out, Rolf. I love you very much. I hope you have a good night's rest and feel more rested, and I hope you get more free time, and I hope the next assignment isn't as arduous. I believe in you, Rolf. Thanks for hanging out. I love you. There you go. I love you, Rolf. See you later. I'm the one who should be thanking you. I never introduced myself either. I'm Cardia. I gave him a short introduction of my origins and my reasons for being in London.
永久機関ホロロギウム。君の胸元に埋め込まれていた宝石がそうなのかい？
That's what Lupin said.
ルパン？でも、そうか。
Victor appears to think something over, then looks right at me.
カルディア、一つ提案がある。僕に君の体を見させてほしいんだ。
Why? Do you want to see me naked?
いや違うよ。そういう意味じゃなくて、医者として診察したいってことだよ。
I see.
これでも一応医術を収めてるし、科学や錬金術の知識もある。君の力になれると思うんだ。
An attempt to transmute elements into other elements, most notably base metals into gold.
やるだけやらせてほしい。
I can see in his eyes that he's not lying, but... so we can either allow it or remain defensive. So let's save again. We have that save. You know what? Let's override the second save, because we don't really need that save. We now have the save. What we can do is we can call it here. Let me see what time it is. Yeah, it's over 3 hours. We can call it here, I guess, and leave this choice for another time. But yeah, thanks for joining, everybody. I love this game so much. I hope y'all are enjoying it too. We're still kind of in the, you know, just introducing characters and lore and stuff, but things will pick up pretty soon, and I hope some of the good dialogue is already shining through. I think it's really nicely done, and of course the art and music and everything is amazing too. But yeah, this is definitely one of my favorites. I don't know if I'll actually do a playthrough of this. I don't think so. This might just have been a one-time thing. As a last-minute decision. I might just play the rest on my own or on Discord stream, but it was a good time anyway. But yeah, next VN night we're gonna start doing Halloween stuff. That will be what comes up next, is the Halloween streams. So I know we're playing Left 4 Dead 2 first. Like, that's the first thing we're gonna be doing. And then after that, we're gonna, either, I haven't decided if I'll make another poll or if we'll just go down the list. I haven't decided yet. But that's kind of what we've been doing, so what we're thinking about doing. So I'm excited for that, because Halloween, my favorite time of year. I love horror so much. Horror is one of the best genres ever. I love it, so pretty excited to be doing horror stuff this month. And I might also stream more now, because I'm now leaving Screen Rant. So because of that, I'm gonna have some more free time, and I'm already planning on possibly making YouTube videos again. But I might also stream more. We'll see. We'll see what I decide to do. I haven't fully decided yet, but I would like to stream more, and I would like to upload videos to YouTube more, which will probably just be cut versions of these streams, just to let my stuff be more out there, because, you know, Twitch isn't really the best at getting your content out there, whereas YouTube, more people are likely to stumble across it, especially if I upload regularly. So I'll probably be doing that now that I have more free time, which would be great. Along with, of course, looking for other jobs and whatnot. But yeah. So anyways, let's see who we shall raid, if anyone's live right now. Let us see. John is live, Tildays is live, Dwarf is live. I don't know. Q-Flux is live. Azure, are you still here? Who should I raid? I can raid John Wolf. I can raid Tildays. I can raid DJ Red Dwarf. I can raid Q-Flux. If you're here for any suggestions. Also, music still top tier stuff right here. Also, thanks to the new peeps who joined in. Thanks to Laru, especially for joining in. Yeah. And I could just raid again. Been a while since I raided him. Or Q-Flux. Oh wait, I already did slash raid. You know what? I'll raid DJ. Might as well. Just for some good tracks, some good tunes, you know? But yeah. So anyways, thank you guys all so much for hanging out. I love each and every one of you so much. I'll see you guys for more Halloween stuff and possibly more Ebon Light next time. So I'll see you there. I love you more, Azure. You're the bestest bean. And thanks for being here. You are the best. Thank you, thank ya. I'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.